I have the great pleasure to introduce to some and present to others my good friend, my good business partner, Mr. McNeal, who's been married over 35 years, 6 children, 6 grandchildren with one on the way. This man is an international executive headed to ambassador, international executive headed to ambassador, international executive headed to ambassador. Folks, let's just say, give it up in the chat for our good friend, Mr. Swole, Steph McNeal. Come on, brother, bring it home for us.
Man, I appreciate you, Mr. Johnny Greene Jr. Appreciate you in more ways than I care to really announce on screen. I just appreciate you, brother, and all that you do, man. And welcome everyone to our Tuesday evening call, the vision set by Mr. Charles White. And we're really, really grateful and excited to be able to ride shotgun on his intellectual prowess, his wisdom in all areas of kind of finance. It's a real asset to our community, a major, major blessing. And to have Mr. Johnny Greene Jr., who's been 20 plus years in the area of finance at a high level. You all know, if you've had been on a call with him when it comes to numbers, that guy he's just got it like that, you know, very quick with it. And they both have a unique ability to make the very complex plain. So without further ado, I want to really share with you all some things that really got my attention. You know, when I was first exposed to this community, I love to tell this story because it's true. And we want to make sure that as we move forward, we see what's happening globally, that our friends, family, coworkers, neighbors, they don't miss the message because of the messenger. And so we seek to educate. And we're going to walk you through a process of kind of understanding this journey that this crypto space has been on, and we get a chance to navigate it now and get involved. And it's a major, major blessing as I share my screen. It never made sense to me when I first got exposed to this space back in 2009. I looked at it. I had a friend of mine talk to me about it, and it was 47 cents a coin. Bitcoin was. And it just didn't make sense to me. So I did nothing. And then it was a couple years later in 2011 when another friend did the exact same thing to tell me, Stephn, the future of money is here. Have you heard of Bitcoin? And I said, no. He said, man, it's the future of money. We got to get you involved. Send me a couple $1,000. I can get you an account set up and buy you a bunch of coins. They were running about $1.12 at that point. And he said $2,000 would be enough. And so I asked him 2 questions. Hey, can you tell me now who's the founder of this, man? Anybody know who that is? He said, yeah, his name is Satoshi Nakamoto, but no one's ever met him. And I said, really? He said, yeah. I said, so tell me about the corporate headquarters. Anyway, long story short, he said there was no corporate headquarters. It was all online. And needless to say, that being not backed by any government, any precious metals, nobody's military. And he's telling me the second time I've heard the same phrase, future of money, it just didn't make sense. How could it be the future of money? They didn't have nobody's guns behind the world we live in. And so I didn't do it, nor did I do any investigation. I just made an emotional decision, rotely. And so it was 2019 when my mentor, Dr. Ty Best, gave me a call to say, Stephn, it's time to run. There's something unique happening, this thing with currency. Have you heard of Bitcoin? I said, yes. He said, man, we get ready to get paid in Bitcoin. Let's go. And I said, what I need to do. And it was after that is when I started doing homework. And what I discovered was that I was really, really onto something. God was trying to show me something 10 years earlier. I just wasn't ready, I don't think. And so, it became to me, Lord, don't let me mess this up when I explain this to people. Give me a way to help people understand what's happening in our world, how these paradigm shifts happen, whether we like it or not, we still adjust to them. And so he gave me this whole idea, and my wife put these slides together for me, this whole idea of economies of time, where you have an economic order, where you have a system or resources that are being developed, and now they're being meted out or allocated in a given society, i.e. the Model T car being the first car. And you see that change over a bunch of years. We once had the wall phone, now the desk phone, the smartphone. So technology, when it makes a paradigm shift, It doesn't ask our permission, and it's happening for the first time now in this area of finance, and we call it fintech, and it's moving in a major way. So when we think about technological advances, some of us are old enough on this line to remember when we did not have the internet. I think that's a blessing. Don't look at it like, oh, that really dates me. No, you understand timing. You understand when things have changed, and we just adjusted. So when I use that phrase, we wrote to adjust. How many of us foresaw or foreknew or had somebody tell us, hey, you know what, the computer thing's gonna be the real future. You might want to get involved and invest in anything that comes out on that thing. Well, they were so cumbersome. You had to learn Fortran and COBOL, and somebody's looking over the back of your shoulder if you were at the workplace learning the keystrokes. And so you saw where you had things happening called with Yahoo and Google and MSN. It's called Web 1.0, where it was just stagnant. You just read it. We were just on it. None of these things that we see now were there yet, right? Then Web 2.0 happened, where we saw Amazon Web Service become a thing, Uber become a thing, Google, WhatsApp, Messenger, IG, Facebook, things that once never were before, now is, and the talk of the town today, and creating multi-billion-dollar companies and platforms when it never existed before. And then we move to Web 3.0, where we start to see this intersection of finance and technology start to happen, and these decentralized networks start to move forward and help bring the picture home. Sometimes they say a picture is worth more than 1,000 words. Well, look at this picture. I mean, look at the cassette player, the portable cassette player on his elbow, you know, and the CD player in his hanky pocket, you know, with the headphones, the boom box, the camcorder where we were recording in, you know, kids events or football games or bar mitzvahs or weddings, whatever it was. You see all these devices that we've all went through. We was excited to get them, be the first one on the block, or just excited to have it, right? And then Steve Jobs invents this smartphone or the smart device. Well, now they've put all the things that were once right here in this small device. Again, innovation happens at warp speed, makes things sometimes smaller, more effective, more efficient, but it's happening in real time. And again, that intersection of technology and technological advances are now happening in the financial world. And we see it moving at warp speed. Some of us can remember going to the grocery store with $20 and getting a lot in our cart, right? And now this whole, because the purchasing power of the dollar is diminished, that same $20 in 2000 is getting a lot less. Now, right now, that $20, you know, it's going to get you a few things, but not like it used to be. But the inverse is happening when you look at the cryptocurrency. Look at Bitcoin, for example, right down in this first cart. One Bitcoin back in the day, in 2008 or 9, 2011, it didn't get you a lot, right? That same Bitcoin, literally 10 years later, can get you a car. And they're projecting by 2030, that same one Bitcoin can buy you a house or more. And so when technology makes these paradigm shifts, it's happening in real time, and it's happening right here before our eyes. Here's a chart of seeing the banking world and what they're doing. Some of the top banks investing in various crypto and blockchain companies at a major rate right now. Now, here's the thing that I think is criminal. They won't let you buy crypto, some of the banks won't, or they try to discourage it. But here they are buying up in the hundreds of millions. No one's going to send you a memo or a letter, an email, a newsletter, because you're a member of said bank to say, Mr. George Williams, we're investing heavily in blockchain and crypto. We think you should too. Here's some companies to peep game on. They're not doing that. Morgan Stanley invested in blockchain companies, you know, hundreds of millions. Goldman Sachs, hundreds of millions into crypto. BNY, our country's oldest bank out of New York, Mellon, you know, putting hundreds of millions of dollars into crypto. It is now billions. Citigroup, one of the iconic brands in the financial world, again, invested in major projects throughout the blockchain. UOB, Singapore Bank, again, major investments into various blockchain and crypto projects. HSBC out of London is one of Asia's largest banks as well. Wells Fargo, this bank here in Korea. You get the picture. It's happening in real time. This is a revolution that's not being televised. It's happening, though, all over in our life. We don't see it, but it's happening. One of the things I like to highlight every time I do this, because I got to get you to see this, Certic is a company that's doing the same thing that another company, which is still crushing business, did when the internet was just first introduced. Some of us remember going to Best Buy or some type of tech store to buy, Circuit City was one, to buy your security for your computer. They put it in a box. It was software in a box. It was called McAfee Security. And you see that on your desktops to this day. You can upload down onto your system. Well, Certic is running the same play. It's running the same play that Mr. McAfee did with the internet. The blockchain is the next level of the internet, and they're running that same play. So if they can run a new play, why can't we do the exact same thing? Goldman Sachs says over 1 billion new users will be in the crypto space. Bitcoin is starting to have a resurgence. Now, people say, well, it's down. And I'm like, well, it just depends on who you're talking to. Because some folks, unlike Stephn McNeal in 2009, bought it at 47 cents. Some people bought it in 2011 at $1 plus a coin, or 2015, or $3 a coin in 2017. You think about all the people that have walked around or maybe shared something in your lifetime during those periods of time, and you either bought some or you said it wasn't for you. So it doesn't mean that it wasn't real, because we see it in real time. So it's all relative. The resurgence at 27,000 didn't mean much to the person at 47 because they still in a place they never dreamed possible, and it's still available because less than 95% of our world population, not but less than 95% of our world's population has even adopted this space. So in terms of opportunities of scale, this is unprecedented timing. And while I'm in the middle of my presentation, I'm going to encourage you to text the joker or the lady, the buddy, excuse me, y'all, and just say, thanks for inviting me to this Zoom. And thanks for sending me videos to watch on this space, because it's going to open your eyes, not because we're presenting. It's just that this is going to happen anyway, and you're early on to do your own due diligence, do your own homework. The EU votes to allow banks to hold 2% of capital in Bitcoin and crypto. It's not just us. Our banks may be saying one thing, but that doesn't mean what the world is not doing. And you want to pay attention to the big picture. At least that's what I've been taught. And so we think about broke, our system today, as I get ready to pass the baton over to Mr. White. We think about this word broke. What does it mean? It means, in terms of the verb sense, divided, shattered, separated into pieces as a result of shock or strain, infringed, ignored, or acting in contrary to a rule of law. And okay, now the noun verb, the adjective verb, how would I describe this? If I'm describing something that's broken, informal, having no money, these jokers just broke, right? Bankrupt, moneyless, the gambling, except going broke, slang risk for everything in a gambling venture. What does that mean? When you think about the news we've been hearing the last 60 to 90 days, 6 months, the supply chain is broke. The medical system is broke. Trust in the media is broke. Approval ratings historically broke. Inflation broke. Why just about every quarter, and it's been at a decade's high, things are broke. Incentives are broke. Hell, heck, grandma and them, everybody broke. So there's stuff happening right now before our eyes. And we believe we have a major solution to what's happening. And we want to encourage you, just like MoneyWise is saying, many young Americans are losing confidence in the stock market and are betting on assets, instead of betting on those assets instead. But they're moving into this space that we see right now in real time. I want to bring onto the floor a gentleman who spent over 41 years in the banking and financial services industry. He's been a leader at several banks as VP and insurance companies, large insurance companies throughout the Midwest, all 51 states, including Guam. Extremely gifted and a pure wordsmith when it comes to finance and making terms very plain and creating phrases in his own that really makes sense when you break them all down in a great way where we can chew them and then take action. He and his wife, Gail, live down in Dallas, Texas. He has a tremendous team that he's building in the Dallas area. We had a chance, like most of you on this Zoom, Johnny and I and others who got a chance to be a part and watch that team work and put on a very excellent presentation. And brothers that flew in from the East Coast, whether it's Crypto and Dr. Curry and Mr. Delco, and just added their flavor to what they had created. It was a grand time for all to be had. And so without further ado, I want to stop my screen share and introduce Mr. Charles White, The floor is yours, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. McNeal. I appreciate your support. You know, you and Mr. Greene have been awesome. Ms. Galispie, all of you showing up here in Dallas, and many more of you that are on this call. I can't tell you how much that means to us to get your support and to have you spend your money to come to our town and help us to spread the word about our Web 3.0 project. Again, thank you so very much. We have so this morning, two things I want to tell you about that I just thought are funny. I always talk about fintech, and I was asking a person this morning at the car wash, first thing this morning, 7:30. Well, what kind of work are you in, ma'am? She said, financial technology. I said, oh my goodness. You know, if you ask enough people, it's going to come up, right? It's going to come up, because I remember being on a plane back in the 80s and, you know, talking about flying from Dallas to Houston, talking about, well, this is not rocket science. So I ran into a rocket scientist working down at the Houston Space Center. You will begin to see more and more people that are working in the Web 3.0 space. You will begin to see more and more money flowing into the Web 3.0 space. This project, this Swiss Valorum Bank, will grow. It's growing now, but there are some young geniuses running this company, running this project, helping us to grow our money, put our money to work. And so that's what I want to talk about tonight. I want to tell you about that. The other Saturday was my birthday. This morning I opened the birthday cards that had come in the mail over the weekend, and I got a birthday card from my sister, and it had a dollar bill in it. And she said, be sure you get this dollar bill and make it get off his lazy butt and go to work. I'm going to do exactly that, sis. I'm going to do exactly that. I'm going to put that dollar bill to work. Believe me, I figured out, I was wondering, now how am I going to put $1 to work? I know exactly how I'm going to put that $1 to work. So without further ado and further nonsense for me, welcome everyone. If you're new here, please forgive my quirkiness. I've been around for a long time. I've seen a lot of things, but that doesn't forgive me for being quirky. I'm kind of quirky. I'd call myself an old fuddy-duddy. So thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you for Mr. McNeal for that awesome presentation. Thanks for explaining Web 3.0. The money in the United States, there was $79 billion withdrawn from US banks last week. $79 billion. So a lot of that's going back to the stock market. A lot of it's going to Web 3.0. So you're not the only one inquiring, inquisitive, looking for answers, because as Mr. McNeal said, our systems don't work anymore. Let me show you a couple things. Let's get this party started. If I can remember how to do it. Let's see, I'll share my screen. I'll find my PowerPoint and I will share that. Let's get to the top. Let's get there. And let's share let's see. My two little buttons are missing. Bear with me 1 second. I'll start this one more time. Stop the share. Start the share. There they are, sound and video. I need a sound engineer.
Every day, everywhere in the world, people wake up, get dressed, and head off to make a living, following the path they've chosen. But deep down inside, there's always a desire for a better way, a simpler way, a legitimate way to make more money, have more free time, and enjoy life rather than just work until we die. We have found a 100% legitimate, inexpensive, logical system with a valuable product and real-time commissions. Generate income with just a cell phone and an internet connection from anywhere at any time. Get started now, get paid now. Do you look for ways to make more money? Ask for info, and we will send you more information. Let's talk.
Yes, let's talk. So why are we doing this? I want to talk about centralized banking and government control. Started in 1780s, 1913, you got the Federal Reserve Act. The law created the central banking system. The banking system was regulated until 1971. I don't know if that's true or not because it's still regulated. Then we got decentralized banking, blockchain technology, Web 3.0, started in 2008 with Bitcoin, DeFi 2018. DeFi means decentralized finance. Still looking into regulation. Joe Biden executive order 2020 in 2022, House Bill 14067, still out there pending. And we want to talk about the new digital era, Gold Standard Bank. So Gold Standard Bank is the genesis of everything that we're doing here. Gold Standard Bank has metaverse with meta mining, meta trading, meta brokerage, meta estates and city developments, NFTs, meta markets, meta gaming, and so much more. The meta is the big deal. Somebody's writing on my screen. Let me stop that. Okay. I can stop you. Okay, so GSPartners.global is a marketing hub connecting communities to multiple sectors and industry opportunities, providing a marketing solution to multiple companies. GSPartners.global is able to help its community connect into major markets and participate in some of the largest trends globally. The AI technology sector, which is one of the sectors we play in, is currently worth $1 trillion and growing exponentially, and is revolutionizing multiple industries ranging from healthcare to finance. The Forex market, with an average daily trading volume of, it says 5.3 trillion here, but it's probably closer to 7 trillion, offers the potential for high returns through leveraging currency fluctuations. Real estate, with a global value of 382 billion, offers a stable and tangible investment and potential for long-term growth. Those are the sectors that we're in. Okay. I am going to, let's see if I can get rid of that. Annotate. Eraser. Aha, gotcha. Okay. We always have someone who likes to, every time I don't put that on, they come in and they like to write on the board to distract me and get me off track. So I want to tell you that I forgive you. I harbor no ill will towards you. And I want to ask God to bless you, everything that you do, in every endeavor that you take, that you would get wisdom and strength and courage. So that's my blessing for you tonight. So let's move forward a little bit. Let's get out of that. See if I can get back to the screen. There we go.
Good afternoon, Galispie. I am very proud on all of you to join this 10-year anniversary. You can imagine 10-year anniversary. Yes, which will lead our company to become a #1. Of course, because we don't accept number 2.
So let me read our little disclaimer. This presentation is for the exclusive purpose of educating the community members and users of our products, services, and potential rewards programs found on the GS Partners Global platform. Every effort has been made to accurately represent the GS Partners rewards plan and its income potential. All earnings or income examples will depend solely on the ideas, techniques, knowledge, skills, and time vested into your independent business. GS Partners does not guarantee any results for any decisions you make in relation to promoting our products or your business. All income examples used by GS Partners are not to be considered average earnings. We are not financial advisors, and we are not offering financial advice. I also have to add there, we're not tax advisors or legal advisors, nor are we offering that kind of advice either. GS Partners works all over the world with exclusive tech partners. Compliance is at the heart of our business. We operate in a highly regulated environment. We differentiate ourselves through good conduct, and we're well positioned to continue to thrive in an ever-evolving regulatory environment. Our partners currently operate in more than 150 countries worldwide. So let's talk about GSP. Everybody says, who are these guys and where the heck did they come from? It all began in 2013 when a group of visionaries set out to disrupt the gold and precious metal markets by creating a better way for buyers and sellers to connect. Their GSP Gold Internet platform quickly became one of the leading platforms in Asia, connecting refineries, dealers, and suppliers in unprecedented ways. By 2014, GSP had invested significant funds to develop an ecosystem that would connect big players in the gold market with retail, corporate, and institutional clients. The group that then implemented blockchain technology in 2015. I remember Mr. Haidt telling the story about someone coming to him and saying, have you ever heard of cryptocurrency? And his response was, how do I make money with it? Connecting dealers, refiners, mining enterprises, and institutional buyers and sellers in a way that had never been done before. 2017, preparations began to enable access to retail clients, and GSP Gold Standard Corporation, AG, opened the platform for financial market participants. The next year, GSP filled the gap in financial sectors, solutions offered by their third-party providers by setting up its own custodian services and trust management company. 2019, GSP gave the exclusive order to establish a regulated trust and management company in Sweden. One of the most reputable countries worldwide, the company is designed to cover product lines for private customers that could not be covered by any other connected financial service provider. 2020, here we go now. This is us. In 2020, GSP Gold Standard KB in Sweden received regulatory permission from the Stockholm County Administrative Board and became a regulated trust management company. GSP Gold Standard Bank Limited is also authorized to conduct business as a Class A private financial institution, becoming the newest member of the GSP Gold Group with an A-class banking license. GSP Gold Standard Pay Limited also received an accreditation from regulators to provide fintech services in Kazakhstan. Later that year, GSP developed new marketing platform modules based on blockchain technology, where each partner received real-time rewards. That's us. The same year, they introduced blockchain technology and listed it on several exchanges. 2021. In 2021, GSP continued to innovate with development of the Lydian World platform. That's our metaverse. Inspired by the ongoing evolution of the digital virtual world, the platform included non-fungible tokens and a gaming engine designed to give gamers, players, and developers the ultimate opportunity to build, own, and monetize gaming experiences and universes. In 2022, GSP introduced world-leading brokerage development and interaction through several world-leading brokers in regulated and non-regulated brokerage, so-called meta brokers. And in 2023, most recently, GSB launched Swiss Valorum Bank, one of the few offshore banks with an included, integrated, and regulated exchange in Switzerland. With technology made in the GSB powerhouse, Swiss Valorum Bank handles products and regulated companies such as Swiss Value and the GSBD Swiss platform using similar infrastructure such as MasterCard. You've heard of that one before. Visa. Oh, yes, we know Visa. And UnionPay that can be used in 170 countries around the world. In essence, Swiss Valorum Bank will be able to issue debit cards in over 170 countries around the world. GSB's success is not only due to their innovation and commitment to excellence, but also their focus on building an ecosystem with trusted partners and a loyal customer base. That's us. With more than 500,000 members on their GSB Partners platform, GSB continues to combine technology and education to usher in a new era of economy based on the blockchain technology. So there's a word in their ecosystem. That is economic system. So I want to encourage you, if you're here, if you're within the sound of my voice tonight, we didn't learn the old ecosystem. We didn't learn the old ecosystem. We don't know enough about it, and it's dying. And so here comes a new ecosystem in Web 3.0. Take the time to learn as much as you can about Web 3.0, about what GS Partners is offering, and then take advantage of it. Because the money, when Mr. McNeal showed all those banks that are moving money and making investment, they can use that word investment, I can't. Making investments in Web 3.0. There's a reason for that. Same reason that, Willie Sutton, I've told this story before about Willie Sutton, who was a notorious bank robber. They finally caught him, and the FBI asked him, Willie, why do you rob banks? And he said, because that's where the money is. Web 3.0, that's where the money is. That's where it's headed. The banks are trying to get there ahead of you, establish businesses and opportunities and services so that they can charge you for them and continue to rip you off. Now, I'm a former banker. I have a banking degree from the University of Virginia. And believe me, I really don't like what I see. There was a covenant. You guys know that word. There was a covenant between financial institutions and the customers that they served. And the banks would take your money on deposit and make investments. And they'd make money and pay you back not only your principal, but your interest as well, a fair rate of return. That covenant has been broken. That covenant has been broken. Okay, let me go on before I get carried away here. So why should you choose Swiss Valorum Bank? Swiss Valorum Bank is able to close an important gap between the new digital economy and traditional banking. So there's a hole between the two. How do you move money from the traditional banking system over to the new digital economy without getting beat up? And so that's where Swiss Valorum Bank is going to come into play. It'll bridge the digital economy and traditional banking. So I want to welcome you to your golden opportunity. And our goal as wealth builders is to solve a global problem, how to make more money, save more money faster, grow the money we already have bigger, and make your money work for you. Just like my sister sent me that $1. I got it right here in my hands. I'm going to put that $1 to work and make your money work for you in order to create and live. This is what it's all about. Living a dream freedom lifestyle. But here, where are we? 95% of people are locked into the 40-40-40 plan and end up relying on Social Security benefits, other pension plan, other retirement plans, and family. That's what we do. So what is the 40-40-40 plan? You work 40 years, you retire and get 40% of an already inadequate income And then you have to live on that for the next 40 years when you're at your worst, at your most difficult and vulnerable, where health is failing, your eyes are failing. It's a mess. Okay. So where are you in your life? Let's talk about linear income versus residual income. I want to give credit to, oh gosh, I can't think of the man's name. Anyway, when I think of his name, I'll give him the credit. That's really stupid. Robert Kiyosaki. Thank you. Thank you, Brain. So I want to talk about active income, trading time for dollars. That's what I did for my career. I traded my time for dollars. I was an employee. You have a job. Time equals, you see, $1. No leverage. Your time equals money. You're an employee. And so you get sick of that because you know they're manipulating you and your time. And so you say, I'm going to start my own business. I'm going to start my own business, and you become self-employed. That means you're trading your time for, there's $2 there, no leverage. If you don't go to work, you don't get paid. You own your job. That's what you own, is a job. Let's look at the other side, the residual income side. Passive income, not dependent on your presence. You don't have to be there. You're not trading your time for dollars. You're trading somebody else's time. You're in a business system. You run with a system. People work for you, or people work with you. And so you see there's $3 signs there. People equals leverage. You got leverage because, hey, you remember what Mr. Morgan said. He'd rather have the efforts of 100 people, 1%, than 100% of his own effort. My goodness, that's a thought. And then the last quadrant here is the investor quadrant, where you see there's $3, and you put your money to work and it brings home more money. That's called passive income, where your money works for you. And I'm all about that. I'm all about that. You have to tell your money to get off its lazy butt, go to work, and bring home a paycheck. You see, this is a new concept for us. When did you think about your money going to work and bringing home a paycheck? That is what we're talking about here. We want to get you to the right side of the cash flow quadrant. That's the side we want to work on. Passive income, not dependent on your presence. So let's talk about doubling your money. What does that even look like? It's a concept that we we don't know anything about this because the banks stopped paying interest a long time ago. Okay, so let's talk about doubling your money. Let's see what that looks like. If you started out with you could find a way to do it every year, and you start with $2,000, right? So you start with $2,000, and in a year you'd have $4,000. In 2 years you'd have $8,000. 3 years you'd have $16,000. 4 years, 32. Look at those numbers get big, but it's just math. It's just a double. 6 years, 128,000. 7 years, 256,000. 8 years, 512,000. 9 years, 1,024,000. Look at that big jump. It's just math. 10 years, 2,048,000. 11 years, 4,096,000. 12 years, 8,192,000. That is awesome. What if you could get returns like that? I think I'd like that, wouldn't you? So with GS Partners, the new digital era is here. We have metaverse. The metaverse, our metaverse is called Lydian World. And in Lydian World, we have meta mining, meta trading, meta brokerage, meta estates, city developments. All that stuff is going on in Lydian World right now, even as we speak. People are in Lydian World buying property and building buildings, NFTs, non-fungible tokens, meta markets, meta gaming, and so much more. I knew this was a big deal when Snoop Dogg, who has property not in our metaverse, but in another one, somebody paid $400,000 cash, real dollars, to move in next door to Snoop Dogg in the metaverse. I knew this was a big deal then. Most people have heard of cryptocurrency and the blockchain, but don't really understand how it could benefit them until now. GS Partners makes it simple. We're going to talk about Blockfolio. It's a new word. We have to create our own words like Blockfolio and payback programs because the nomenclature that is used by the investment industry and the insurance industry and the banking industry, nomenclature being the set of terms, that they're very particular about who uses their terms. You have to have a license. And I don't have those licenses anymore. I used to have them all. But when I retired, I just turned them all in and said, here, you have this, have it. It was restrictive and it kept me from making money. So boom, you can have it. All right, so we proudly present the elemental certificates. Okay, there are 9 of them. This one with the blue banner on it says Fast Start. It's a $100 certificate, and it's put there to give you a fast start. It's only there for the first 30 days so that you can use it in combination with any of these other certificates to get additional certificates for free. It's an amazing system. This, my friends, is a wealth building system. So I want to talk about the water certificate, which is the $1,000 certificate. I want to talk about how it works. There are 6 block folios in this certificate: fintech, renewables, real estate, meta portfolio, supplements, and gaming. Each of these works differently, but they all work within this one certificate. So the price of the certificate for this one in particular is $1,000 USDT, not dollars, but because they don't want our dollars. They don't want your money. They want your USDT. They want your Bitcoin. They want your Ethereum. That's what they want. So the bonus, there's several segments that I want to talk about. I want to talk about the foundation. The foundation of this certificate is a 1.5% monthly payback program for 24 months. 1.5, each one of the block folios has that 1.5% for 24 months. That's like the commonality. The rest of it is different, just a little bit, a little up, a little down, but 1.5% for 24 months. So 1.5% for 12 months is 18%. So that's 18% per year. If you can wrap your mind around that, when the banks only pay somewhere in the neighborhood of 0.001%, that's not even enough to talk about. It's the legal minimum. Okay. So the second key piece of this is the 52-week payback. Some blocks give 5%. This one does 5% per week. And in this block, the fintech block, 5% per week for 52 weeks gives you 260% of what you started with. And that would be the $1,000 purchase price and the $1,000 load. It takes $1,000 to load these blocks, any of the blocks. So fintech is 1,000, renewables is 1,000, real estate is 1,000, meta portfolio is 1,000, supplements and gaming also 1,000. So they all pay different amounts. The renewables, 4% for 52 weeks. The bonus is bigger, went from 3,500 to 4,000. Real estate pays a $3,000 bonus and 3.5% per week for 52 weeks. So you see your foundational piece stays the same. Now, let's move up to this weekly. See if I can go backwards and go back to the fintech. I want to talk about that. This 52 on the $1,000 weekly payback program on the price. That's this price. So it's on the price, right? So what they're doing is returning your price to you over 52 weeks. And you get more than the $1,000 you paid. You get $2,600 back on the 1,000, which is enough to cover what you paid for it and what you loaded it with. In other words, every nickel you put in, they give it back to you here. You'll have it back in 52 weeks. I think that's awesome. The third piece of this is the bonus. This particular certificate, Blockfolio, yields a $3,500 bonus. At the end, you get it on the last day, you get your $3,500 dropped into your account. The other thing you get dropped in your account, item number 4, is the load. You get your load back. So how much did it cost you? What did this certificate cost you? This Blockfolio cost you? It cost you time. That's all. All the money was returned to you. This is see, we can't use the word interest because that belongs to the banking nomenclature. We can't use the word guarantee. That belongs to the banking nomenclature. What we use is the word fixed rate of return. This is a fixed rate of return. Everything you see here is loaded into the smart contract. The water certificate is a smart contract, as they all are. They all work the same. They're all proportioned out just the same. So what is a smart contract? The smart contract is a blockchain contract. You can do some research on that. Mr. Greene usually asks you to bring a pen and paper, write that down, smart contract. You do some research on that. And so with these certificates, everything that you're going to be paid is loaded into the smart contract. It's loaded into the smart contract. And when you activate the smart contract by loading, that's what activates it. It just pays. It just pays, it pays, it pays, it pays. This is an extraordinary product. It's an extraordinary product. It's a wealth building system. And I love it. Renewables, $4,000 bonus, 4% per week. Real estate, $3,000 bonus, 3.5% per week. Meta portfolio, $2,000 bonus. Now this one's different. This one is a dynamic program. They don't tell you what you're going to get because it's Forex trading, foreign exchange trading. And so they trade your money every day and they produce a yield. But, because it's market driven, they can't do it. Can't tell you. So $4,000 bonus on the supplements. Now this bonus on the supplements is not in spendable dollars. It's in supplements. You get a bonus in supplements. So if you own a supplement store, my goodness, you can load this thing for $1,000 and get $4,000 in supplements. That's awesome. And the last one, the gaming bonus, is in gaming tokens. It's in gaming tokens. So that's how the certificates work. Let's go forward. And how do you get started? How do you get started with this extraordinary Web 3.0 program? You register your GS Partners account now. Takes less than 2 minutes. You receive the Blockchain Academy. Most of us don't know anything about this stuff, but there's an academy that you get to teach you what you need to know about the blockchain and how to operate within the blockchain. You get a $28 USDT value NFT, non-fungible token. You get special members only pricing, special member only promotions. Now this promotion thing is real. It is amazing. And then you get a referral link. So you want to share this information with friends and family. You get a referral link so you can do that. And then you get participation in the rewards plan. When you do share it, you do get rewards, and they're real and they're live and they're in real time. It starts at $33 USDT. Now, I have found that I don't like $33 USDT. I don't want to think about it because it looks like a bill. Well, it's not a bill. Where can you start a business for $33? I'm just asking. So what I do is I pay mine annually. It's $396. And that's what I do. But that's what I do. Here are some of the companies that we are partnering with right now. Of course, Swiss Florin Bank, GSBD Swiss, Swiss Finesse, that's our supplement company, Swiss Value, and SkyGround. They do the trading on the foreign exchange. gold standard group. So an effective plan, you can earn crypto rewards in Bitcoin, Ethereum, USDT, G-Euro, and G999 just by promoting, just by sharing this plan with others. And what do you earn? Direct commission. To activate 33 USDT monthly membership subscription or $396 annual, like I like to do, you earn 15% on your referred customer and member purchases, paid instantly in real time. There's a 9-level play plan. I can't, my tongue is tied. There's a 9-level pay plan. So your level 1 is 15%. If you refer one person, you get paid 3 levels, 15, 5, and 4. When you refer your second person, you get paid 6 levels, 4%, 4%, 4%. And when you refer that third person, you get paid 9 levels. And so this is a rewards potential. Nobody is saying here, especially not Charles White, that you're going to be able to build this. But you know what? Lots of people have put together some impressive teams. And this is just an example of what could happen if you sponsored 3 people who sponsored 3 people who sponsored 3 people, and so on down to your 9th level. This would be your monthly payout just based on the membership fees. And what if you could only do half of that? I think that'd be extraordinary. So the choice is yours. Get back with the person who invited you here. And I want to show you now a live. I don't know how much time I have left. Not much. I don't think I'm going to show you a live certificate. I have one that's ready to compound, but I'm going to stop. I'm going to turn this over to Ms. Tanisha Galispie and Mr. Johnny Greene Jr. And let's see what they have up their sleeves tonight.
Exceptional, Mr. White. One thing I do want to say for the ones that did hear, he had mentioned a key term, smart contract. So if you look in the chat, I'm going to actually help everyone out because I like to make things very easy. With a little bit of focus, you'll be able to look up what a smart chain contract is. I just put it into the chat. Everybody can tap it. You'll see what IBM says, what a smart chain blockchain, what it actually entails and the specifics on how it is and how it has no intermediaries. It is a beautiful thing. If we were in contracts that were called smart contracts with voting, we would actually have no issues on who won on any type of voting system. So with that being the case, Ms. Galispie, we're going to go just a few minutes past the hour. We want to get at least 3 questions. If you have the ability to raise your hand, you want to go to your reactions tab on your PC, your computer, or maybe on your phone. It'll say more. You want to raise your hand. And the first 3 people that raise their hand to ask a question in regards to what we just mentioned, Ms. Galispie is going to allow you to unmute yourself. We'll ask just part A of that question. If it's longer than 20 seconds, we will have to mute because we're on a time constraint. So with no further ado, if 3 people would like to unmute themselves, raise their hand, we would like to get any questions that you have about the elemental certificates and what Mr. White and Mr. McNeal just went over. And I certainly want to say again, Mr. McNeal, great presentation. Again, we'll say for the record, happy birthday to ya. Mr. White, it's got to be your birthday.
Hey, boss.
Yes, indeed. Anybody has any questions? If you don't have any questions, you can certainly put it in the chat as well. If you don't want to come on camera, if you don't want to turn on your mic, you can certainly come on to the chat and write out that chat, your question. I know we have a few guests here. George Collins, you can be muted. I'll go ahead and have Miss Tanisha Galispie. You want to go ahead and unmute him? I think he's unmuted. Perfect.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Good evening, Mr. Charles White, very good friend of mine, a buddy of mine too. I have a question for you, sir. Could you expound a little more on the Valorum, the Valorum Bank credit card or debit card? I'm very much interested in that.
So are the rest of us, Mr. Collins. Thank you for asking that question. The cards are supposed to go live. Those that have been issued are supposed to go live on July 1st. You will get an invitation. If you are a member, you will get an invitation to apply for a card in your on your dashboard. It'll just pop up. When it's your turn, when you're eligible, it'll just pop up. And so over the summer, they're issuing them very slowly, very methodical, because they want things to go very well. So over the summer, they'll be issuing these cards. I would suspect by the end of the fall, they'll have them issued to everyone who wants one by the end of the fall. So just be patient with us, be patient with them. They're coming.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Thank you for the birthday wishes, everyone. You know, I 60 didn't bother me one bit. 65, I took it in stride. 67 was cool. And I had to take a pause at 68.
Looking good though, brother. Looking good.
Thank you. Thank you. Feeling, you know what? Feeling good, Billy Ray.
Yeah.
Well, I don't see any other questions for the evening, so we are not going to belabor the moment. We're going to say
Oh, there's
all
one.
together.
There's one more.
Uh-oh. We'll go ahead and allow Ms. Tarver to unmute yourself, please, ma'am. You can go ahead and unmute yourself.
Can you hear?
Yes, you just remuted yourself. We could hear you when you unmute.
Okay, you can hear me now.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. My question is regarding the load on the fintech on a water certificate. I know you said that the 3,500 will drop into my account, the bonus, at the end of the term of the certificate. But in the first column, it already shows the value of the certificate. That is correct, that it just shows it, but I still won't receive any compound on that particular value as of right now.
No, ma'am, you don't.
Okay.
No compounding there. Your compounding comes on the monthly 1.5%. And also you can take your weekly and drop it in with the 1.5% and grow that bucket. The bonus is just the bonus, and it's not going to give you anything other than what it says. It's exactly what it's going to give you.
It just shows it as the value in that box. That's what I was trying to do.
That's right. That's correct. It just shows the value in the box. And if you do the second load is called the bonus load, or I guess it's the bonus load. Let me see. Let me just.
Yes, that's correct. You're correct.
Bonus load. Okay, so you do the bonus load.
Oh no, promotional bonus.
Promotional load. That's right. The promotional load. Let's go look at one real quick. You get me started, and I just don't want to leave and not explain well. Okay, so let's find one with that is okay. June 27th. Okay, here's one. June 17th. I guess I was doing something else on June 17th. I wonder what. This is $100 certificate. It's only available in your first 30 days. You see right here on the front, it says your weekly payback on this certificate is 12.5%. In other words, I have loaded these things and stacked I stacked. I got 5% on the fintech, 4% on the renewables, 3.5% on the real estate. I did not load the meta portfolio, the supplements, or the gaming. My payment monthly is 1.5% on this one, on this one, and on this one. Okay. When you look inside, load now, you have to hit load now to look inside. You'll see that I'm past due from June 17th for compounding. So I go into the system and I have to select reward from, let's go to the renewables, reward from renewables. Please select what kind is it? Oh, I got my first monthly. I'm so glad I did this. There's a weekly reward, and now there's a monthly reward that I can compound. I can also withdraw. This is awesome. I can withdraw my weekly. Please select where you want to put it. So if you can think about this, you can tell the system where to take your money and compound it to. Do I compound it to fintech, renewables, or real estate? I'm going to compound mine to fintech. Even the renewables amount, I'm compounding to fintech. I compound that. Why would I do that? My strategy is the money is available in 24 months instead of 30 months or 36 months. So I'm putting all that down there. And then at the end of 24 months, it'll all be available. So back to the certificate. Let's do it again. Compound. Please select. What did I do last time? Renewables. Let's select real estate. Please select the weekly. And then please select where you put it. Fintech. Compound now. Boom. Done. Back to certificates. You see how easy this is? This is like getting compound. This is like getting in the old days, you used to get if you owned stocks and they were dividend stocks, you'd get the dividends in the mail. They'd send you a check, a dividend check. If you had certificates of deposit at the bank, they'd send you a check, an interest check. Okay. If you had annuities at the insurance company, they'd send you an annuity payment in the mail. Of course, all those words and terms belong to those three industries. I'm not allowed to use them here. I certainly can't use them in connection with fintech, okay, and a weekly compound and putting it into fintech, and boom, compound now. Wow. See how easy that is? Compound. Look at this. I got a monthly. Please select fintech, renewables. Please select monthly. Please select fintech. Compound now. Back.
That looks really hard. That looks really
I can just do
hard.
this all day long, Mr. Greene. Let's do the monthly. Please select where am I put it. I'm going to put it in fintech. All right, let's do one more and then we'll be done. I'm not going to do anymore. I got more to do, but I'm not going to do anymore. Compound, please select. What am I doing? Fintech. Where am I putting it? The monthly. And where am I putting it? I'm putting it into fintech. Compound now. Okay. Done. Awesome. If I refresh my screen, you're going to see some of these numbers. Let's see. This says I've got 141.07 USDT in the main load. And if I refresh my screen, let's see if I can move some of this stuff so I can do that. Let's see if that number will change. Aha, it did. 169.38. This is making your money grow. This is how we build our wealth. I like saying that. This is how we build our wealth. Now, I could have just as easily withdrawn that money. This system, the foundation of this system, Mr. McNeal, is our ability to withdraw our money and use it, spend it however we want it, whenever we want it. That's the foundation of this system. That's the foundation. There are many systems out there, but some of them discourage you from making withdrawals. Nothing is held back here. Everything you do is in your hands. You decide when to spend your money. You decide when to compound your money. It's all up to you. It's all up to you. And if I can earn that much on $100, come on now. Like my friend, Miss Sherry Brown says, come on, somebody. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing and shut up.
You know, the really important thing that I think people need to understand, the one thing you made very clear, the blockchain is transparent.
It is.
And it gives you a choice to become your own bank. And I'll yield after I say this. How many times have the bank called you and said you had a weekly reward that you can take and put right back into your own pocket to make more money?
Never. I can answer that question. Never. You know, I had an affiliate, Mr. McNeal, get a card in the mail from some financial institution. They offered him 11% APY. That's extraordinary. Unless you're getting 5% WPY. That's what he did. He laughed. He laughed. You know, a few years ago, we would have jumped all over that because we didn't have anything better. But now we do. Now we do. I went into Chase Bank the other day and I told the banker, you know what? I just want to thank you. I want to thank you for making my business grow. I want to thank you for abusing the hell out of people. I want to thank you. Keep it up the good work. Because as long as you keep doing what you're doing, people are going to flock out of the banks and come to find projects like this one that will treat them with a covenant fairly and give them a fair share of the payback, right? You get a fair share here. I did. I'm not, you think I'm kidding. I'm not kidding. I went in and I told them, thank you. What are you talking about? Thank you for abusing everybody. They still had that bowl of dum-dums up on the counter, Mr. McNeal.
Telling folks they suckers.
Take as many as you want.
Yeah, and give it to your kids so it'd be a generational curse.
Goodness gracious.
Wow.
One more question, and that Ms. Samber, you have the last question.
Thank you. You said 260% and so much percentages. So I was doing the math. I did the water and I did 3 of those. So that's 3,000 times 12.5% because I did the renewable, the real estate, and the fintech. And the reason I like fintech is because that's 5%. And then, like you said, you're stacking them. So you have 5% plus 4% plus 3.5%. So now that $3,000 investment with water is times 12.5% weekly, which comes to $375 per week. Now, when you multiply that times 52 weeks, people, it comes to $19,500 for 52 weeks. So that was the 260% that he was talking about. So for a $4,000 investment, you get back $19,500. Now you still got to do your dues, your membership, and I tell everybody go for the year because they have promotions throughout the year that are just great. So thank you for that 260. You made me take out my calculator and do a little math. Thank you so much, and great presentation as usual, birthday guy.
My birthday's gone. It's over.
I celebrate for the whole month into July. Hello.
Okay, I got you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
and just to be compliant, we are not using the word investments based on the nomenclature. We have to use weekly payback reward.
That's right.
So please, if you have to write that down, that's the only homework that people have. We are not the banks.
We're not. We
are
can't
the
use the word
blockchain.
interest. We can't use the word investment. We can't use the word annuity. You see, we can't, that's not our nomenclature. We have to use our own. We have a blockfolio. We have a blockchain. We got messed up words like HODL. That's somebody misspelled the word hold, and now we have HODL. That's our word. We took claim of that word. So we're developing our own nomenclature.
And since that was the last comment, statement, question, we want to say thank everyone for being here. I'm going to yield the mic to our two speakers of the evening.